So at this point in the class, we've introduced you to CodeSkulptor and we've shown you a little bit of Python. However, we haven't shown you how to save anything. So if every time you go back to CodeSkulptor, you have to retype in your work, that's going to get really tedious really fast. So today, we're going to talk about saving things and how to get them back into CodeSkulptor. Okay, let's head over to CodeSkulptor. Here we are. And for the purposes of today, I don't want to use the example program. Instead, I just want to type my own. It's my first program, print hello. All right, I've got this fantastic program. I run it, does what I expect. Now I want to save it because I'm happy with it. Well, how do I do that? You can see up here in the control part of the application that there is an icon with a disk, and that is the save button. I pushed it. Looks like nothing happened. Well, actually something did happen. The address in the address bar has changed. And if you look up here, you can see that now at the end of the URL is this hashtag and this file name. This file name was randomly generated for you. This now names your file in the cloud. When you push the save button, your file is sent off to the cloud. A new randomly generated file name is created for you, and it is part of the URL. So this URL will now and until the end of the class name your file. Okay, so what does that mean? It means I can copy this URL. I can create a new tab. I can paste it. Let's load this. And hey, we got our program back. Okay, so if I lose my program, so we go back to CodeSkulptor, it's gone. All right, well, it's not really gone. Okay, I can paste this back. However, that file name was randomly generated. We don't know what it is, so only you know what it is. You need to keep track of it. If you lose it, it's gone. All right, so how can I keep track of it? Well, there are several ways. Okay, one, you could bookmark it. Two, you could look in the history of your browser. 3, you could copy it and save it into a file on your computer. 4, you could email it to yourself. And I'm sure there are many other ways that you can come up with to keep track of your file names. All right? So you should do whatever you find most comfortable, but you absolutely need to save these file names. Okay, and I'm going to show you on Chrome, there's this little star button over here. I can push that, and it will put a bookmark. So I'm going to call it Hello Program. I'm going to put it in the bookmarks bar. Say done. And here it is. It shows up on the bookmarks bar. If you don't have a bookmarks bar, you should go through the menus. I'm sure you can find it. Okay. And when I push this, okay, it doesn't matter where I am. Let's open up a new tab. I push this, and all of a sudden my program comes back. Okay. So it is critically important that you keep track of these URLs so that you can get your files back. I don't want to go through all the possible ways that you can manage your bookmarks. You can use Google to find out about that. All right. But make sure that you do so. Okay, so you've written your very important program and you've saved it to the cloud, and we've pushed the save button. We're very comfortable that our file has been saved, but to be really cautious, we should download it to our local computer as well. You really want to copy for yourself, not just relying on the cloud. Okay, you could lose the URL, you could lose something else, and downloading, okay, by pushing the download button right here, gets the file that you most recently saved to the cloud, and it brings it back to your local computer. Okay, so this button is only going to be active right after you hit the save button. Now, your web browser recognizes that this is a Python program, and so it gives you a warning. Hey, this program could run and harm your computer. Well, it's a program that you wrote. It's not going to harm your computer, so you can ignore this and keep it. Right? We've now downloaded our program. Okay, we can actually open the downloads folder. And here we go. You can see that I have 2 files that I've downloaded in the past. All right. And I can actually open them and you can look at it in Notepad. And here is my program. So now I have some extra security. And we strongly recommend that after you get a working program or after you're done working in a particular session, that you both bookmark the file and you download it to your local machine. Now, saving your files is only useful if you can actually get them back. I showed you if you copied the URL, either into your own file or just copied it, you can paste it back into the address bar and get your file back. If you bookmarked your URL, you can get it back by using the bookmarks. Okay, if you forgot to bookmark, you can actually use your history in Chrome. That's Control-H, and you can see all these exciting CodeSkulptor files I've worked on. Right, you push this, you can get something back. Hey, that's not the one I wanted. I can keep searching. Hey, here's another one. Okay, and you can probably find pretty much everything you've done in your history. All right, now what if I downloaded the file locally? Okay, so here I am at CodeSkulptor, and I had previously downloaded my file. That's where this Open Local button comes. If I use the Open button, I can navigate through my hard drive. I can find the file that I care about, and I can open it, and here it is. Okay, so you can use one of these mechanisms to retrieve the files that you've saved, depending on how you decided to actually save it. Now, it's never going to be the case that you type your program in one shot, you're done, you save it, and you submit it. Okay? Programming is an incremental process. So here I wrote my program. I said print hello. I said, oh, wait, I was trying to write hello world. Okay? Run. Hey, much better. I save that. Wait a minute. I like exclamation points. There's not enough of them. All right, let's save that. Oh, wait. Let me run that again. No, that's not really what I wanted. I wanted this. Okay, and you keep going. Okay, eventually you get to something that you're happy with. And you say, okay, this is the program I want. And you go off and submit it or whatever. Okay, I want you to notice though, while you're doing that, if you keep saving, that the name of your file basically stays the same, except this version number at the end increments. It started out at 0, then it went to 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is somewhat convenient. You can actually go back in time while you're working in a session. You keep saving. You say, oh, I screwed up and I overwrote things. You can just, even if you didn't bookmark them, you can change that number and say, oh, I really meant to use that program 1 back. And hey, it goes back to my program with all the exclamation points. Okay, so the version number, you might find that relatively convenient way of going back in time and looking at previous versions while you've been sitting there working. Okay, as you can see, I've been working hard on my Hello World program here, and I finally got it the way I want it. And I'm ready to submit it to Coursera, to send it to all my friends and family, and basically show off the coolness of all of my work, right? You can just use the URL that you have here, and that's perfectly fine. But you'll notice, hey, this is the lucky number 13 version of my file, and maybe I don't want people to be able to look back through the history and see what happened in version number 6. Okay, so we added a little suitcase button. When you push the suitcase button, it generates a new file name for you. So it does everything that the save button does, it just doesn't have a version number. Now if you'd like, you can use this to submit to Coursera, you can use this to send to your friends and family, and they can't see all the versions. There's nothing wrong with the version numbers, this is just your choice. There's one final thing I want to call your attention to, and that is the prefix of the file name right here. Okay. Now you can see that it's user1 here, but if you go to CodeSkulptor right now and save, I guarantee it's not going to be user1. So you guys are going to generate hundreds of thousands of files a week, and this prefix helps us keep those files manageable. All right, so we change this every once in a while. We will change it at times that are not so disruptive, but do be aware that that could change. Okay, and if it changes, your version numbers will just keep incrementing. So here I have user 1 version 3. If I hit save and we had changed that to user 2, it would go to user 2 version 4. Okay. Another thing I want to call your attention to is the dashes in the file name. They might be dashes, they might be underbars. Okay. Don't worry about that. That's not a big deal. So we've now shown you that using CodeSkulptor you can save your files to the cloud and then you can download them back to your local hard drive. You need to do this early and often. Okay, as you're working, make sure that you save, right? And when you're done working, either because you finished your program or you're tired of working at the computer for now and you're going to walk away, make sure at that point you bookmark and you download the file to your local computer. This will make sure that you can always get it back. Remember, we cannot recover those URLs for you. If you lose the URL, we don't know it's yours, we can't find it, we can't get it back. If you keep the URL, however, you can get it back. And you can use that URL to submit to Coursera. You can use that URL to send to your friends. Marvel at the wonderful work that you've been doing in this class and generally enjoy yourself. Okay? We promise that we will save all these files in the cloud throughout the class. All right? But it's your responsibility to track the URLs. With that, I hope you have a lot of fun in this class.